The show is on!
JohnFord.radio.
It's the Evening Rancor, the podcast from that guy who talks about stuff, John Ford. Any links mentioned on the show are available at johnford.radio. Today, we're coming to you direct from your mom's basement. Welcome to the Evening Rancor, the John Ford podcast.
And here we go again. It is another John Ford podcast, the Evening Rancor. This would be podcast number 32 in a series of, I don't know, however long I live. I guess I'll keep doing them until I drop dead. Straight from the New York Daily News, the headline, "To delete or not delete your Facebook account? That is the question." Never thought the Daily News would do a Shakespeare headline. You know? Maybe the New York Post, only if they could make fun of Shakespeare. But yeah, I hate to be the one to say I told you so. You should definitely delete your Facebook account. Now, unfortunately, even if you do delete it, they're going to keep all of your information anyways. Because once you've, and I'm looking at this New York Daily News and that picture of Zuckerberg, I just want to punch him in the face. Oh, what an ugly, nasty cuss he is. I can't stand him.
No.
Oh, man. Let me tell you how I really feel about it.
And feel warm all over.
His smug little rat face, in front of Congress, telling us about how great Facebook is and how they love you and protect your privacy. And now it's come out in the last week that they've been sharing your data, which, of course, they consider their data because they own it. Data breaches, information leaks, and misinformation is all they are good for. And, some users are actually starting to delete their Facebook accounts. And good for you. Me, I did it years ago. I can see this evilness coming down the pike, man. I just said, this is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
There's something really wrong about this. And I watched all these radio folks, because that's my background from broadcasting. I watched all these radio folks jump on the bandwagon for Facebook and social media in general, which is really not social. It's antisocial. As we have seen, I'm getting into a frenzy here. As we have seen what's happened as this stuff has become more and more mainstream, we just hate each other more. It just creates more tribalism. There was this global lie that it was going to bring everybody together, that it was going to create a better place. And then we saw things like the Arab Spring. Did that create a better space and a better place? No, I don't think so. What ended up happening in Egypt? They ended up, voting the Muslim Brotherhood in. And then the military had to come in and throw those guys out. This whole social media thing is so stinking evil.
Now we're cooking with evil gas.
I can't say that, in and of itself that it is empirically evil, that it is, underlying everything. It just is evil.
No.
Things can be used for good purposes or bad purposes, but I think this has spun out of control so badly that it has become inherently evil. So anyways, back to this article in the Daily News. It's been reported on numerous, of course, I'll include the link at my website, johnford.radio. This news has come out on lots of different places. I just happen to pick this up from here because I had a quote in here from somebody I like, which I'll get to in a minute. But users are saying, yeah, they're getting ready to dump this Facebook nonsense. Dump it. Yeah, get rid of it. Dump it. Even though they're still going to keep your data. But they've been caught red-handed sharing users' personal data. It used to be your personal data, but as soon as you turned it over to Facebook, it was really no longer your personal data. I mean, I get it when it comes to these guys that run Facebook. I get it when it comes... My phone's ringing. Hell with it. I get it when it comes to guys like Zuckerberg. It's just their evil empire. And it goes back all the way back to when he first started the site, which allegedly he stole the code from somebody else. Allegedly, there was a lawsuit, and I think Zuckerberg ended up winning, if I remember correctly. But, back there was an email that you can Google and find it on the web where he said, when he was talking about first putting together Facebook at Harvard, and he was chatting or emailing with one of his friends, and he said, well, how did you get these people's information? These students at Harvard. He said, they just gave it to me. They just posted it. And the other guy said, what? And he said, yeah, they just, posted it. They just handed it over. And the other guy couldn't believe that people were so naive to do that. Like I said, I had a Facebook account in the beginning when it first, went public. for a few months. And then I realized this is not only evil, it's stupid. So anyways, back to the story. And of course, it's interesting that it's also trending on another social media thing on Twitter. Evil 1 is, trending on Evil 2. Don't even get me started on this Patreon thing, man. I don't even want to go into that. Wow. Was it Sargon of Akkad was thrown off, and now Jordan Peterson and a lot of the guys in the intellectual dark web are starting to think about dumping it and starting something new. Because, these businesses are just controlling things, man. If they don't like what you say, if they don't like what the direction is you're going, whether it's left wing, right wing, or chicken wing, they'll just say, well, this person doesn't fit into our mission statement as a wonderful, beautiful corporation. Meanwhile, it's like Zuckerberg, like, Mr. Burns. Give me your data. Give me your money. And it's true. I mean, you look at that rat-faced Zuckerberg. You could just picture him with the fangs and the blood. Just give me more of your data. Give me more of your data so I can make more money and I can rule the empire. As you can tell, I really like Zuckerberg a lot.
No.
Anyways, trending on Twitter is hashtag delete Facebook. Kind of going around. Can't say that everybody's surprised about this. I'm certainly not surprised. You guys need to delete your Twitter. Delete Twitter. You can do that too. Delete your Facebook account. Facebook needs to go away.
Great.
Jaron Lanier, the author of 10 Arguments for Deleting Your Social Media Accounts Right Now, and also the author of a book called You Are Not a Gadget, which I would highly recommend, which I read a few years ago when it came out. He says, look, many users are hesitant to delete their accounts because they're addicted. And Facebook is addicted to something too. Do you know what they're addicted to? They're addicted to your information. They're addicted to your data. And they're addicted to the money that it brings them. They are a media group. They sell advertising. And they use your data to sell advertising. They are not a technology company. They may be using technology, but they are an advertising company. And they should be under the same restrictions that any other advertising company is under. I think they should fall under the restrictions of the FCC. As a mostly libertarian person, I hate to say this. I hate to say that we need government control over things. But when it comes to this, guys, I think you do. Government control is not always a bad thing. I mean, you need to drive on the proper side of the road. You need to stop at a stoplight. I mean, could you imagine going 20 feet and you have to switch the side of the road because, they got different rules in different neighborhoods? No, that wouldn't be very good. And it's getting to the point where Congress is getting to the point where they're getting fed up. I was reading this on Vice News. The crumbling wall on Facebook as D.C., both sides of the aisle are going after them. Both sides of the aisle. For this handling of private user data and messages. You need to treat these guys like what they are, a publisher. They are an advertising entity. They are not a technology company. I mean, they're a technology company like Gutenberg, with the Gutenberg Press would have been a technology company. No. Just because they use technology doesn't mean they are a technology company. At least Apple makes a computer. At least they make technology. They may be just as evil when it comes to things, but at least they make technology. Facebook has some code, there's some technology involved in it, but Apple makes money selling technology. Facebook makes its money selling you, selling your data. Senator Ron Wyden of Oregon, a top Democrat of the powerful Finance Committee, told reporters on Capitol Hill this week that civil penalty... Told reporters on Capitol Hill this week that civil penalty... Anyways, those civil penalties aren't enough for tech executives who break privacy laws. Go get them. Get that little rat face.
I don't mind a parasite. I object to a cut-rate one.
Now let's turn to something a little lighter as we close out this edition of the Evening Rancor, the John Ford podcast. So glad you could come along for my little tirade of a journey today. I love this. And I can't get enough stories about chickens. And I can't get enough of that chicken sound effect. Have you ever been stuck on a plane with some annoying person with a emotional support animal? Well, Popeye's Chicken may have the answer to all of your ills. Instead of taking your emotional support animal, why not take your emotional support chicken? You heard that right. An emotional support chicken. But in this case, it's not a live chicken. It's a 3-piece tender box set shaped like a chicken from Popeyes. Available at Popeyes at the Philly airport. Only available there, though. Hopefully they'll start making this available at other airports as well, as you can take your little box of chicken tenders with your Popeyes emotional support chicken. It's a box of chicken shaped like a chicken. Because who doesn't like chicken?
Well, sir, I don't like it.
It's time to say so long. Sorry to say that it's time to go. Remember this spot on your radio. There'll be more entertainment for you that you'll find so enjoyable too. So tune in on Monday, because that is when that man